Hey, just sitting here thinking about, the United States, as Americans, we're viewed as, boasting individual freedom. And I just think back on, when COVID first hit and, then throughout COVID, just how cowardly, the majority of Americans were complying and going along with all the mandates and just going along with it all. It's pathetic. Where were the men through all this? Where was the pride, in being a man? Where was the pride, for all of us, for being Americans? Where was that pride? Where was that boasting for individual freedom? That was one of the things that was most disheartening about, COVID, was seeing, what I thought, before COVID, what I thought, Americans were and how Americans behaved and what we valued in terms of freedom and having pride and having courage and having conviction, having strength, and not being afraid of a virus, not being afraid to stand up for, what we believe in as Americans. And just to see all that be revealed as, it seemed like most Americans don't think that way, And so that was really disheartening. And I just think back to that. I remember thinking when the masks first kind of came on the scene in, at least around here, in like April, May of 2020, before any mandates happened, but people were wearing them, out and about. A lot of people were, actually. And I just remember thinking, I'll give women and kids a pass if they want to wear masks. But there is no way that a man should be wearing a mask. There's just no way. There's no way that a man should feel comfortable in public being that scared and announcing to everyone in public how scared he is. That was just unacceptable. So I was willing to give a pass to women and children, but I seen men doing that, and it's still the same now. When I seen men doing that, I was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And so it was always just really hard to see that, and kind of that disillusionment of the way I thought Americans and viewed their freedoms and being an American, and the way I just viewed, men as having more pride and just being stronger and not being afraid, and definitely not letting people in public know that they're afraid. It was eye-opening to see all that. And then, also for the women to not hold these men accountable, to see them, out there wearing masks and being afraid and all that, and not calling them out on it, and not holding them accountable, that they're supposed to be leaders and have courage, and even if they are afraid, to not be afraid, not to show you're afraid, and to stand up for what you believe in. They should have been holding them accountable as men, holding them accountable as men, but everyone just went along with it for the most part. So, all right, I appreciate you checking me out. We'll talk to you later.